Hey guys, it's Andrew Olsentowski. I'm giving you another early prediction video of a fight that hasn't been booked yet, but I imagine will be booked for early 2022. Provided John Jones doesn't step in the picture here and take the steal one of the fighters' spots in the fight. But I'm gonna give you my early prediction video for Gane against Francis Ngannou. And so let's just take a look at Cyril Gane. Won the interim heavyweight belt over Derek Lewis a month ago, August 7th, UFC 265. Just absolutely destroyed him, man. TKO Derek Lewis in the third round of their title fight. Shit, I think he was a minus 365 favorite or so. So he was a huge favorite in a title fight, which is telling you everything you need to know. That it wasn't even, and it was a vacant title fight. That's just telling you how dominant this guy is, man. He closes a minus 300 favorite on 5 dimes. Cyril Gane did against Derek Lewis, and man, he put on an absolute dominant performance. Before that, another impressive win over Volkov in June. So he fought Derek Lewis on about 5 weeks, man. 5-6 weeks after the Volkov fight, which is astonishing in itself. Beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik in February. I actually had a bet on Rozenstruik in that fight. I thought he was being undervalued. He just couldn't pull the trigger, but I still think pretty highly of Rozenstruik, man, because I know when that guy chooses to throw, he's got some serious power. Beat Junior Dos Santos before that. A great name to have on your resume. I mean, I used to think Junior was one of the best. 10 years ago, that guy was, he was reigning supreme, man. He was, I don't know if he was the intern. No, I remember him beating Shane Carlin in June 2011. Well, he beat Velasquez in November 2011 for that UFC Fox debut. So, Junior Dos Santos, man, he's still one of the greatest heavyweights in UFC history, in my opinion. He's not the greatest, obviously, but he's up there, man. Good one over Tanner Bozier before that, Dontel Mays, Rafael Pessoa. But, man, guys handled all this competition accordingly, man. 31 years old, 83-inch reach, 6'4". Man, this guy, he's something to look out for. And, in Francis Ngannou, I used to think for a long time this guy was going to be one of the baddest dudes. And he is. He is a very bad dude, man. A heavy power, man. 35 years old, 83-inch reach, 6'4". So very identical to Gane. Just 4 years older. Beat Stipe Miocic at UFC 260. I had a small play on Miocic in that fight, man. I shouldn't have. And beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik before that. Devastating. That was a vicious knockout. Beat Junior Dos Santos in a fight that I had Junior in. I thought there was some value on Junior. He just absolutely destroyed Junior. Beat Cain Velasquez and Curtis Blades in the fights prior to that, and Ngannou was actually both model plays in those fights because he was huge underdogs in those fights, man. Against Cain Velasquez and Curtis Blades. Crazy to think, but it was true. Lost to Derek Lewis, lost to Stipe. He was huge favorites in those fights, so you can see where he's heavily priced. He doesn't come through always. Beat Alistair Overeem, another highlight reel knockout prior to that. Beat Andrei Arlovsky, Anthony Hamilton, Bojan Mikovic. Yeah, I remember him. Curtis Blades the first time in Croatia. Made his UFC debut against Luis Henrique. Man, I mean, it's just, this guy is a phenom. The problem I have with Francis is that I just don't think the guy can go hard for 5 rounds, man. I just don't. I don't think he can be what Gane is. And, that's why I do favor Gane in this matchup, man. And so let's look at the odds. Here. BetOnline, take it for what it is. BetOnline actually opened Gane plus 165. Ngannou minus 190. And I think, honestly, I think the odds should be more flipped around. I mean, Gane is only a minus 115 right now. Francis is plus 105. I think the value is all day on Gane. Gane showing you he can fight smart. He can win, man. This guy's a winner. That's just all he is. And Francis is a knockout artist. And Gane can do that to you too. But, man, Gane is just so well-rounded. And I just think if Gane stays out of... If Gane just stays out of the power of Francis, man, he's got this fight in the bag all day. You know, he throws more volume. You know, he's just a more well-rounded fighter, man. You don't see Francis going for takedowns and doing all the shit that Gane can do. You know, and I do like the rivalry for the fact that, you know, hey, there's a lot at stake in this fight, man. Possible greatest heavyweight of all time who's going to have a nice heavyweight reign. And I think Gane's more likely to be that guy. And, you know, I think a guy that could give Gane more trouble is Stipe, where Stipe's kryptonite might be more of a guy like Francis, that because Francis just has that power. Stipe's just constantly waiting in, you know. But with Gane in that too, man, like I said, the winner's probably gonna fight John Jones. If John Jones chooses to actually fight at heavyweight, I think the guy should do it. You know, he's obviously very scared to risk his legacy, but I mean, I think at heavyweight, I think he's gonna be up against the 8-ball anyhow. But yeah, minus 115 odds. I think the value's all is clearly on Gane here, man. And I just think it's his fight to lose, man. And you know, for me to take a shot on Francis would have to be a massive underdog, and I just don't. Well, it might be there. I mean, there's the line. The line is only out on certain books, and you know, BetOnline is probably the more notable of the books that have it open. DraftKings has it open, so does FanDuel, but I don't know if that's really being updated. And plus, the opening odds on BetOnline is not taking really big money, so this line could really... This line's going to move a little. This line's not going to stay where it's at. But my early pick is Cyril Gane. Just think he's the more well-rounded fighter, and I always appreciate that aspect in fighters over a guy that's just a knockout artist, man. And I do like the fact that they both have had the same coach at one point. I mean, Cyril Gane is still with MMA Factory out of Paris with Ferdinand Lopez, and that's great. That's a great camp, man. I mean, that can't be denied. You know, that guy's raised 2 heavyweight champions. My God, you know. Ngannou's in Vegas now and that, and of course his team is trying to push for a John Jones fight. They want to deflect as hard as they can away from Cyril Gane, just because Cyril Gane is going to take that belt away from him, in my opinion. So I do like Cyril Gane in this fight, guys. Probably by TKO finish in the later rounds. Or he could just pick up a decision win, man. But just kind of like what Miocic did to Ngannou in their first fight. So I do like Cyril Gane, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.